Hello again, everyone. Yes, I got a haircut. It is very short. I might grow it out. I'm probably gonna grow it out again. But that mullet wasn't it. So we're starting over. Anyway, this is a very different kind of video we're doing today. I just kind of want to have a sit-down, chill video, guys, where I discuss my battle vest. I've seen a lot of videos where people will, talk about their battle vest, do a tour of the patches, and also give any stories about, what funny little random things I have on there, if they have any meaning. Me personally, I like to accessorize a lot with essentially trying to make it as tactical as possible. Basically, want like a denim tool with patches on it. So that's going to be essentially what this video is. And yeah, I always find those videos quite interesting. I always like seeing stories about people's battle vests. And so I thought I would do a video about mine. So I've been working on this thing for about 8 or 9 months now. This is what it looks on me. It is probably about 3 times the weight it used to be, just because of the amount of shit that's on it. Weirdly enough, I feel like over time it's shrunk on me a little bit, because before, when I first got it, it was quite baggy, possibly because of the sleeves, but it was quite baggy. But the reason I think it's shrunk is because the way I've sewn a lot of this is I've like folded the fabric slightly and then sewn it, which is probably removed like an inch off the size, but it was really big on me originally, so that's not really a bad thing. What makes it slightly different is that I kind of took inspiration from, crust punk and punk scenes, mostly in just like the way it's stitched, and also just 1 or 2 patches that are on it. It's not all heavy metal necessarily, but also kind of like the style of stitching. If you look kind of like down here, like show you that a little bit closer, just that style of stitching was somewhat punk inspired. But anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna first of all start with the accessories, because I think that's quite an interesting place to start. I'll show off the buttons as well, because I mean that's kind of interesting. So first of all, the most recent addition is this bottle opener attached to a safety pin. Which it's just kind of useful to have, another sort of like utility add-on I sort of made. I got that idea from HME YouTube channel. We got this homemade badge here, which is super glued onto a regular button badge. This is an old Red Bull can thing which I cut out. This my sister gave to me. It is I can't remember what the kind of moth is called now, but it's those moths with the skulls on it. This badge is actually got a pretty cool story behind it. So this was a badge from a cartoonist who lives in my local area called Dr. Simpo, and he came to my primary school and essentially just taught us about animation for a day. And he gave out these buttons, these button badges. And I took one and I kept it, and I didn't lose it somehow all through like 10 years. And I put this on my jacket as a little, just as a little remembrance. I mean, he's not dead, but yeah. We have your obligatory marijuana badge. Nothing interesting to say about that. Over here we have a British Gas, which I got from an old like second-hand shop that just sold a bunch of like random crap that people have like gave from like 40 years ago. And this really old badge, like the back is like super rusted and stuff, was there for like 20p. And I was like, that'd be kind of funny to have on there. And easily my favourite accessory here is a lighter, which I super glued onto a Slipknot button badge. And it works. So, if ever, me or a friend needs to light a cigarette or some other substance, if they don't have a lighter, problem solved. And right before we go over the actual patches themselves, I'll show the studs. Nothing interesting I can say about those really. I just studied all this part because I thought it would look cool. But anyway, we'll start with the front since we've already touched upon that. We have Slayer up here. Got that from a little goth shop in my local town. We have Sodom there, quite a new patch. Creator down here as well, which I got most of these in the same basket on eBay, because before there were loads of the patches were very different, and they were very different like arranged. There was just like 3 patches coming down here even, and then like not much on the back here. But then I kind of shifted everything around, ordered a bunch of new ones. So we got Sodom and Creator, good old Teutonic German thrash bands. We got Venom, because I really like first wave black metal. Venom's not one of my favorites, but I really do like them, and I thought they earned a place on my vest here. I like the slogan here. We got home taping is killing music, so are Venom. It's cheesy, but it's fun. Morbid Angel, probably one of my favorite death metal bands. Hellhammer, again, first wave black metal. Pantera, just above that. Pantera's probably at this point one of my favorite bands, which kind of sucks because I really fucking hate Phil Anselmo. But above that we got Anthrax, which I don't listen to loads anymore, but you know, did quite a lot. Over on this side we got Municipal Waste, easily one of my favorite bands ever. Sort of got me into crossover thrash, which I'm big into now. I'm currently repping the Pest Control merch, another great crossover band, which if you don't know them, go fucking listen to them. I saw them open for Obituary, and they're fucking awesome. We got Deicide, pretty great death metal band. Merciful Fate here. I love Merciful Fate. King Diamond pretty much got me into heavy metal alongside Korn. Like, they were the two forces that drove me into becoming a metalhead. Megadeth, another one of my favorite bands. I went for Peace Cells over Rust in Peace, just because I prefer the album cover. Although they kind of sent over like a shitty colored version. Like the picture on eBay was like it looked like the album. It looked like the colors of the album cover. They kind of sent this, which is like more purpley and blue, and like, or it's like just weirdly. It looks like a paint by numbers. But oh well, you know, it doesn't. It's not the end of the world. We got Obituary, another one of my favorite death metal bands. Saw them live in September when Pest Control opened for them. Got Slayer again here. That's another thing I should mention. Another way, which I sort of took punk influences from this jacket. I made a lot of these patches, by hand, and this is one of them. I painted this on it was material that came from a tote bag, and I just kind of got some fabric paint, painted the logo, cut around it, and there we go. We got Metallica underneath. This was the first patch I ever bought of this jacket. I bought it at an open market. I was just looking around and I saw those patches along with some Iron Maiden patches, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm you know, like, this is when I'd ordered the actual denim, but it hadn't arrived yet. Below that we got Mayhem. Again, you know, probably, are they my favourite black metal band? Potentially, probably. Like Dark Throne a lot as well, and Emperor, but like, yeah. Also Marduk, though. I don't know what my favourite black metal band is, I don't know. We got Cannibal Corpse here, another one of the first patches I got. This, as you can kind of see, has like some fabric beneath it. That was something I added. Originally it was just the logo. My computer went off, it is still recording, hopefully, yes it is. Originally it was just the logo. It was an iron-on, and it was kind of shitty, and it wouldn't really stay on, and I couldn't properly sew it because it was a weird shape. So eventually I just like took it off, glued it onto the fabric, and stuck it on there. This used to be where the Slayer patch is, up in the corner here. That's where it used to be. If you go back to some of my old videos, you can probably see it there. When the battle jacket was like fresh, back when it still had sleeves, you know. Here we are. So Download 2007. This is a very cool patch. Obviously I wasn't there because I was 1 year old, but there it is. Yeah, I like this patch. Below that we have Rip Dimebag, one of my favorite guitarists, as you probably could have predicted. So that's pretty much it for the front. I realize now that I kind of went to the back a little bit early there. The back on the other side, so I might as well show the back of this side as well. King Diamond, as I mentioned, sort of got, you know, one of the big bands that got me into metal. Below that, Twisted Sister. I made this patch. That's another one I made. I made this out of an old white T-shirt, which I did the purple on, and then put that onto some black fabric, which I stitched on. And then just below that we have Guns N' Roses, which is, you know, favourite hard rock band, probably in my top 10 bands. You know, not very metal, I know, but, you know, whatever. There's some other non-metal, well, there's one other non-metal band patch on here. Alright, so, let's look at the back now. This is the back. So, first of all, I painted this, Exodus. Originally it was just white, and I didn't love it that much, but I had it white for ages. And I was tempted, and I'm still tempted to do this, to get a big Sodom patch, like a big one to go across here. That would cost me about 20 quid. So whether I'm going to do that, I don't know. It would be very cool to have. But for now, I think, you know, that looks kind of cool. The red and white. Got this patch which I made, as you could probably tell, it's Dead Kennedys. This patch I quite like. It's a satirical political patch. Don't be tempted by the devil's dandruff. Sell yourself to Jesus, or give yourself to Jesus. Obviously, it's satire. But yeah, there we go. Held together with some safety pins up there because I ran out of thread, and I thought, oh well, it would look kind of cool to put some safety pins at the top anyway. So we got Motorhead back patch, obviously. Another band which got me big into metal. Well, I was listening to Motorhead. Well, I was familiar enough with Motorhead for years before I got into metal properly. You know, through like Ace of Spades and shit like that. But yeah, as I started to listen to more Motorhead, that's, you know, one of the big things that got me into more metal. We have Marduk here, as I said, another one of my favourite black metal bands. And then right beside that we have the obligatory death patch. I already showed these ones down here, but we have Slayer here. This one, that's a pretty iconic Slayer design. And below that we have another patch that I made. It is Life Lover, DSBM band. And as we sort of get closer to the end, we have this cat licking its ass. It isn't metal. It's not band related, but I mean that's just fun, you know. That's just kind of fun. And then finally we have the big old fuck off Iron Maiden patch down here, which is kind of getting a bit fucked up towards the end here. Just because this was once again made. Well, this was made of a tote bag, which had the Iron Maiden logo on it, and it was I didn't want the tote bag, but I saw it in the shop for like £3 or like £4, and I was like, I could cut that out and sew onto the jacket, so I bought it, and you could kind of tell it's not made to be worn on your back and rubbed against, like, you know, if I wear my backpack to college with it, so like it rubs against it here, and like it's kind of chipped it off a bit. If I ever want to replace this with another big patch, maybe I will. But for now, I'll keep this on because it looks kind of cool. You can't really tell that it's, you know, not supposed to be a patch, so keep it on for now. So, yeah, that is pretty much my entire battle jacket. I hope you found that interesting. I might add one or two things onto it in the future. Like, I kind of want a Cal decapitation patch, like just the logo. It might be cool to have a Cryptopsy patch. Again, big Sodom patch at the top. That would be kind of cool. Or like, you know, big Sepultura maybe. But for now, I'm pretty happy with it for now. So hopefully you found it interesting. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.